Hello, this is the story of the elves and the shoemaker. A shoemaker, through no fault of his own, had become so poor that he only had enough leather for one pair of shoes. He cut them out one evening and went to bed, intending to finish them the next morning. Having a clear conscience, he went to bed peacefully and said his prayers. The next morning, when he got up, he was about to return to his work when he found the shoes on his workplace, completely finished. Amazed, he didn't know what to say. He picked up the shoes in order to examine them more closely, and they were so well made that not a single stitch was out of place, just as if they were intended for a masterpiece. A customer soon came by, and he liked the shoes so much that he paid more than the usual price for them. The shoemaker now had enough money to buy leather for 2 pairs of shoes. That evening he cut them out, intending to continue his work the next morning with good cheer. But he didn't need to do so, because when he got up they were already finished. Customers soon bought them, paying him enough that he could now buy leather for 4 pairs of shoes. Early the next morning he found the 4 pairs finished, and so it continued. Whatever he cut out in the evening was always finished the following morning, and he now had a respectable income, and with time he became quite a wealthy man. One evening, shortly before Christmas, just before going to bed, and having already cut out a number of shoes, his wife said, "Why don't we stay up tonight and see who is giving us this helping hand?" The shoemaker agreed to this and lit a candle. They hid themselves behind some clothes that were hanging in the corner of the room. At midnight, 2 little men appeared. Sitting down at the workbench, they picked up the cut-out pieces and worked so unbelievably quickly and nimbly that the amazed shoemaker could not take his eyes off of them. They did not stop until they had finished everything. They placed the completed shoes on the workbench and then quickly ran away. The next morning the shoemaker's wife said, "The little men have made us rich. We must show them our thanks. They are running around with barely any clothes on. Do you know what? I want to sew them some shirts and jackets and undershirts and trousers for them, and knit a pair of stockings for each of them, and you should make them a pair of shoes each." The husband said, "I agree." And that evening, when everything was finished, they set the presents out instead of the unfinished work. Then they hid themselves to see what the little men would do. At midnight, they came skipping up, intending to start work immediately, and when they saw all the new clothes instead of the cut-out leather, at first they seemed puzzled, but then delighted, and they quickly put the clothes on. Stroking the beautiful clothes on their bodies, they sang, "Are we not boys, neat and fine? No longer cobblers shall we be." Then they hopped and danced about, jumping over chairs and benches, and finally they danced out of the house. They never returned, but the shoemaker prospered, succeeding in everything he did.